Hello and welcome to Isothermal. This session is to help you as high school seniors to get some information to know what to do about how to apply at Isothermal and the little bits of information that can help you for the rest of your life. So hello, I'm Diane Dickerson. I'm the Director of Enrollment Management at Isothermal, which is a fancy way of saying the Director of Admissions. So it's through our office that your application comes through, your transcripts from high school come through, and your residency. So if you have any questions about those, please do reach out to us at admissions@isothermal.edu. Michael.
And I'm Michael Clough. I'm testing coordinator and advisor over in the Advising and Success Center. As testing coordinator, you may come across me if you need to take a placement test to enter any of your programs, or if you plan on going into one of our competitive enrollment programs, such as health sciences or BLET. I also offer career counseling. So if any of you are not sure what you want to do with your life, that's okay. We might be able to come up with some ideas.
Hey, this is a photo of our new building. It's the Engineering and Applied Sciences building. It's beautiful, so come by sometime and take a tour. All right, so we are really excited about talking to you all. We really like Generation Z. That's the generation that you are. If you didn't know, you are connected with technology. You are tech natives. You are entrepreneurial. You're realists. You like caring about the world and the economy, and you tend to volunteer a lot as a group. So welcome. We like your generation, and we're ready to help you. Before we get started, we also want you to know that we have plenty of fun here on campus. Besides all the academics, there are lots of ways to meet people and be involved in activities and have a lot of fun. So even during COVID, these pictures were pre-COVID, but we still had pop-up events all year, and we do have ways to meet people and enjoy life a little bit.
Now, we want to make sure that you're aware of all the advantages that come with attending a community college like Isothermal. Many of you are planning on going to a four-year college or university, and I want you to know that you can actually start that right here. With an associate in arts or an associate in science, you can actually earn a lot of your prerequisite and general education courses right here at Isothermal, and then you can transfer and you will already have those for a lot of your four-year degrees. We have agreements with the NC University system. We have agreements with Gardner-Webb. Just about anywhere you'd like to go, we can actually get you a lot of the same credits that you would earn in your first 2 years at those schools. Whether you want to be a marine biologist, a civil engineer, a teacher, any number of four-year degrees, or even beyond that, you can actually start right here. Now, with something like a marine biologist or a civil engineer or a computer systems analyst or a pharmacist, you'll be looking more at an associate in the sciences, whereas with a teacher or maybe a historian, a philosopher, there's a lot of different directions you can go with the associate in the arts. The big difference, an associate in the arts is going to focus more on humanities, and an associate in the sciences is going to help you prepare for those, what we call STEM degrees. STEM meaning science, technology, engineering, or math. And the associate in the sciences will have heavier emphasis on the sciences and the mathematics. Either way, you can start those right here. No matter what you do, you'll need to take a freshman English, a freshman math, you'll need to take some humanities classes, and you can actually take those right here at Isothermal. The best part is, of course, it's very convenient. It'll be nearer to you. We'll have a smaller campus than almost any four-year school, so you can get a little more individual attention. And best of all, you're almost certainly going to save some money. Now, we also, for those of you that aren't planning on going to a four-year school, we have a lot of other options. No matter what you want to do, you will probably need to have some sort of training or certification to really succeed in your field. That's where the Associate of Applied Science comes in. Now, this is not the best degree to transfer to a four-year school, although that is possible. The applied science degree, the intent is to get you the training and certifications that you need to go directly into the workforce in any number of careers. Just some examples, and we have many, many more programs than what you see here. If you wanted to go into the criminal justice field, whether as an officer, security guard, any number of directions you can go there. Business administration, we have an associate's in business administration. In fact, we have several different associates in business administration, depending on what field or what direction you'd like to go. Nursing, we have a lot of different directions to go with nursing, ADN, LPN, a lot of different things you can do. Electrical engineering technology. This is going to be more if you want to be an electrician or you want to work with electronics. Welding is a popular one. You'll need your welding certifications, and we can help you out with that. And these are just some examples right off the beginning, but there's a lot more you can do. Whether you want to go to work in a trade or work in factories or even in business, you can do an applied science degree, and we'll get you there in fairly short order. We want you to be aware of a few new programs we have here at Isothermal that you may not already be aware of. For one, we have dental assisting. We can actually get you a dental assisting degree. You will be qualified when you finish to be able to sit for the dental assisting certification. And this is a great program. It actually works out of Polk campus where you can get practice in an actual dentist's office. So that's fantastic over there. Human Services. Human Services is a program for those of you that really like to work with people. With Human Services, you can go into counseling, you can work with people with disabilities, you can go into social work, a lot of different directions to go with a Human Services degree. With the Emergency Medical Science Bridge, you may also know this as EMS, and we can actually help you get into those into the EMS field. Finally, if you may have noticed, we have an equine center. It's kind of a big deal in this area. If you've been eyeballing that equine center, you've been thinking, I kind of want to get into the business side of working with horses. We actually have an equine business degree. It's a fantastic program. And of course, there are opportunities for work right here in Rutherford and Polk counties. Now, with most of our degrees, whether they be the Associate in Sciences, Associate in Arts, or the Applied Sciences, it's pretty straightforward. You just sign up for the program and we advise you and you start taking classes. We do want you to be aware though, there are programs that have competitive admissions. What that means is there's a limited number of seats for these programs. And there may be more people who want in the program than they have seats, in which case you would be competing. All the competitive admissions programs are going to have different criteria for how you compete against each other or compete for those seats. So I don't want to get into all that right now, but it might be through an admissions exam. It might be through GPA. There's a number of ways to compete for those. These are three of our more common competitive admissions programs: nursing, dental assisting, and basic law enforcement training, otherwise known as BLET. Now, you're not planning on going to a four-year school. You don't want to go through the whole rigmarole of getting an associate's in the applied sciences, but you still want some extra training. Well, we actually have that as well. If you're just looking for a credential, you just want some, a little extra education, you want to take those years of education and boil them down to maybe just weeks or months. Well, our continuing education program can help you with that. We offer credentials in fire and rescue. We actually just opened, maybe a little over a year ago now, a fire and rescue facility across the street from our main campus. And it's really cool. I got to go to the unveiling and they did a lot of exercises out there. They have these big buildings you can climb in and out of if you like heights and smoke and all that fun stuff. They got to carry dummies all over the place. It looked like a very interesting and pretty exciting field. Pharmacy tech, we offer credentials if you want to work in a pharmacy. The CNA and phlebotomy. CNA, you may also known as a nursing assistant or a certified nursing assistant. Phlebotomy, if you are interested in blood. I don't know that many people that are, but you might be one of them. Phlebotomy would be drawing and testing blood. Our culinary program, we have a fantastic culinary program that meets over at the Rutherford Opportunity Center. And this would be a great one if you like to work in the service or restaurant industry, or even if you wanted to start your own restaurant. The Groom Elite program, now this is a pretty cool one. This is over at the Polk campus. If you are thinking about that equestrian center and you're thinking you want to get involved there, but you're not that interested in the business part, you're more interested in the horses. Well, Groom Elite is actually a certification that trains you to work directly with horses as far as taking care of them, grooming them, feeding them, watching out for their health. This is a great program, and I just saw they had the inaugural class was honored at the equestrian center. It was very cool. So if you're not sure what you want to do, that's okay. A lot of people aren't. And we don't necessarily need to decide what you're going to do for the rest of your life. However, we do want to find a direction for you to get rolling in. And that's actually one of the services we offer here at the Advising and Success Center. We have career advising. It's a pretty interesting program. All you need to do is you just contact us at the Advising and Success Center, and we'll send you a survey that you can fill out. This survey is going to find out all about who you are as a person, what you like to do, what experiences you've had, how much education you're interested in. And based on that, we're going to run a report, and it's going to help us narrow down some fields that would be a good fit for you, whether you like to work with people or whether you like to be creative, if you want to work with your hands versus working in an office. All those things are things that we look at for you. We can even break it down for how much education would be required to get into this field, or how much might it pay in this area, or if you were to go to a different one. The best part about this, I want to make sure you know, it's free. It's free for anyone. You don't even have to be a student here at ICC in order to take part in this. So it doesn't even have to just be for you. If you know anybody who is thinking about a career change, or they come home from work grumpy every day, they might want to give us a call. We can help them out.
Michael, thank you. I just want to give a shout out to the Advising and Success Center team. It really is all about you. It's very individualized. It's a very, very good program. So do consider that. Okay. So we also want you to know it is not all about academics. We have plenty of opportunities to meet people, activities and clubs. So do take advantage of all that networking and meet new people. Okay, so why do you need a credential? Well, the state of North Carolina, in conjunction with some other departments in North Carolina, has looked into our economy. And this is from My Future NC, so you can go out there and find it. By the year 2030, we need 2 million more people in North Carolina to have a high quality credential or degree past high school. And we are on, we're projected to have about 1.6 million, but we have a shortfall of over 400,000. So what we need is for you all to step up to the plate and get a credential past high school so that you can live the life that you want to lead, and that our economy works as it needs to work just here in North Carolina. This is also for parents and aunts and uncles, older siblings who have not reached that credentialing. You all are welcome to come back to Isothermal too. So a lot of this information is not just for high school seniors, it's for our whole service area of Rutherford and Polk County. So please consider getting something past high school. It will be for your benefit. All right, so moving on, this is the steps to college enrollment. And you all should have received one of these in the mail and in the last month or so. So we have the complete North Carolina application, the residency application online. If you have any problems with that, do give us a call at the admissions office or email us. And we are happy to help you with any residency issue. There are personal residency issues, state level residency issues, and federal residency issues that might complicate your application there. And we're used to dealing with all of those. So whether it's a homeless situation or a citizenship question, please do reach out to us. We are happy to help. Also, your information is private. So we are under law to keep your information private. Also, we have the Apply to Isothermal. This is a free application as well as the residency to apply to Isothermal. And you do that through CFNC or College Foundation of North Carolina.org. We have new student orientation this year because of COVID. We do have it online. We've been doing online orientation for over 5 years. So you'll be able to access that a little later. Don't think you need to do that right now. The next thing you would do is if you've also submitted your in-progress transcript, the state has allowed us a way to evaluate your in-progress transcript while you're a high school senior, and we can waive you from the placement test. After you've done residency and you've applied to the college and we have your transcript on file, you can meet with an advisor and get registered for fall of 2021. Now, after you meet with your advisor, they help you with your classes, and then you can also register for your parking sticker if you have a car. If you don't have a car, do please look at the routes for Rutherford County Transit. They have 2 loops, one to the southern end of the county, one to the northern end of the county, and they both loop through here. Also, Polk County has a transit that you can check into and see if they're coming over to the campus and on what their schedule is. After that, you get your books at the campus bookstore and be sure to attend class. Now, one thing we've noticed is that sometimes there's issues with any part of your application. We do try to reach out to you. It's up to you as new students to advocate for yourself, but we do try to reach out to you. And sometimes we can't get a hold of you. We do need you to set up your voicemail. We understand screening calls, that's no problem. But if you set up your voicemail, we can leave you a message. So please do that and then clear them out after you're done.
Now, one of the greatest benefits of attending a community college like Isothermal, and I think I mentioned this before, is we're going to have a little bit of a smaller student body than a lot of 4-year schools. The nice thing about that is you can get more personal attention. There's a lot of different ways that we can help you in your classes and help you to be successful. One of them would be our writing center. At the writing center, you can make an appointment anytime. They'll even take drop-ins. And you can sit down with somebody there and go over any paper you might be writing, which I know, writing papers can be a struggle for some people starting out in college. They'll help you go over ideas or help you find good resources for your research or help you come up with a good thesis or maybe look at the organization. They love meeting with students. They love writing. That's why they work there, and they want to help you as well. We also have a tutoring center. If you struggle with math or you are having trouble in your astronomy or any of the other sciences, they would love to help you out there. The tutoring center, again, they take walk-ins, you can make appointments. We even have online tutoring right now where you can make an appointment with somebody and you'll be able to meet online. We do also have a student advocacy coordinator. Her name is Alfreda Lindsay. Now, what's great about her, if you have become accustomed to any kind of accommodations while you're in school, that could be time and a half, it could be going to a separate room, it could be something as simple as sitting in the front row. Well, we want to make sure that you get the accommodations you need here at ICC in order to be successful. And that's where Miss Lindsay comes in. A lot of students, when they leave high school and they go to college, they may think that I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want these accommodations anymore. I don't want to deal with all the hassle. And that's fine. We will never force you to do anything like that. What we would ask, though, is if you have an IEP, if that's familiar to you, or you've had any accommodations in the past, we would recommend that you meet with Ms. Lindsay just so that we have those things on record. You are not required to ever take an accommodation you do not want. You don't have to tell anyone about it. It's totally between you and Miss Lindsay. And the idea there is that once you've gotten into the semester a little bit, you should have a pretty good idea if this is working or if it's not. What we don't want to do is get too far in, maybe get towards the end of the semester and you failed some exams where you could have done better. And now you want to get the accommodations. Well, you can't go back in time. Okay, so we can't fix those things from the past. We can help you in the future, but it's good to have those things on file right from the start, just in case. So I'd recommend if you've ever had accommodations in the past, if you know what an IEP is, you may want to make an appointment with Miss Lindsay, and her contact information is right there in front of you on the slide. Now, one accommodation you may have received in the public schools would be English as a second language. That is one thing that we cannot give to college students here at ICC, or really any community college, as part of the curriculum. However, we do have a fantastic English as a second language program that anyone is welcome to attend. This is free, so you never have to pay anything. You can start anytime. You could contact them right now. They'll probably have you in class by tonight. They'll take all ages. You don't have to be a current high school student or college student. You could be any age. You're not even required to have a high school diploma, and you don't even need a social security number. They just want to help people learn the speaking and listening and reading and writing skills to be successful at anything they do. So we'd love to have anybody there. Again, you may have been used to some sort of English support in your normal classes. We can't offer that here, but we can offer this program. And they do meet at the main Isothermal campus and at Pope campus, so they're convenient in that way as well. All you have to do is contact them. Down there at the bottom of your screen there, you'll see the contact information, and they would love to hear from you or anyone you know that needs a little bit of help.
Thank you, Michael. So one of the things we want you to know is that we will help you go as far as you want to go. And our next section shows that. So here's Dr. Shelley White. She started at Isothermal Community College. She is now the president of Haywood Community College, just past Asheville. Here's Karen McNeil Miller. She is an Isothermal Community College graduate, and she is now the president and CEO of the Colorado Health Foundation. And here we have Jermaine Price. He graduated a few years ago from Isothermal Community College in our broadcasting division, and he is now assistant producer for the Judge Mathis show in Chicago. And he has won an Emmy. Let me just repeat that. He has won an Emmy for his work on the show. So just know that you can start at Isothermal and go as far as you want to go. Here's Steve Jobs, and I think you all know him, inventor of all Apple things everywhere. And he didn't come to Isothermal, obviously, but he did start at community college. So just so you understand, this could be a really great way to save money and go as far as you want to go, which leads us to our next slide. So here we have the tuition rates and fees for Isothermal. This is subject to change. The state goes through this budget every summer, so it could change a little bit, but it wouldn't likely change very much. So here we have for a 15 semester hour, which is a full-time load, the tuition and fees for one semester are $1,205. Now, if you look at a 2-year total for about that many hours, you're looking at $4,820. However, if you're a citizen resident of Rutherford or Polk County, you may qualify for Pell or Powers Promise scholarship and not pay anything in tuition and fees. Powers does not cover books, however. So we want you to have this information so that you can compare apples to apples with your other schools that you're looking at. So, oh, and again, we like to have fun. So it's not all about academics, but I think up here in the left-hand corner, you've got Coach Hines, and I think they had a pickup game in the gym. And then in the upper right corner, we offer a skiing trip every winter, usually in February, and it looks like at this point in the day, they are ice skating. In the lower left corner, there's students hanging out in the lobby, playing cards. You know, in college, You don't have back-to-back-to-back classes all day long. You have breaks in your schedule, so there's plenty of opportunity to hang out in different buildings. Most people find their building that they want to hang out in, and in this lobby off the hall there is vending and microwaves, so you can bring your lunch. I bring my lunch every day and heat it up. And you'll see people in the lobby playing cards or watching movies on their laptops, sometimes on the big screen, and board games. I've seen lots of things. And then let's see, here is I think they're doing line dancing in the gym. And then we have 1 or 2 times a year, we have boat races in the pool, which is always a lot of fun. So just know there's plenty of activities, there's clubs to get involved in, lots of ways to make friends. A lot of people hang out here all day long. They might get dropped off in the morning or drive themselves, and then they might stay till like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the evening. So there's really a lot of time to hang out too and socialize. All right, back to the program. So you do want to complete your FAFSA. FAFSA is free. You should not be paying for any of that. It is a free application. And what you want to do is you want to do the FAFSA so that that piece triggers the Powers Promise Scholarship. So many of you will receive the Powers Promise Scholarship, but the way you trigger that is through doing the FAFSA. So if your parents make too much money and your expected family contribution is too high, the Powers Promise generally kicks in for citizen residents of Rutherford or Polk County. Also to trigger your New Century Scholarship, if you have that you must also do the FAFSA for that. Now, a little note at the bottom says, come back to Isothermal and take summer classes. So if you are going straight to university, or if you have older siblings or parents who are at university right now, you can consider taking summer classes here at Isothermal. When we help make sure that those courses the credits will transfer back to your university. They did announce last week that we do have a scholarship for visiting students over the summer. So be sure to check that out. It's just a simple 1-page application form to get free tuition for citizen residents of Rutherford and Polk County. So if you're coming back this summer, please spread the word on that. Also, if you're a current high school senior, summer classes should be free to you. Most of you, your high school graduation date is after our start of the summer semester. So you would still be under the dual enrollment umbrella. You'd still be considered a high school student when you start that semester, which is free under the K-12 system. So consider taking some classes if you're a high school senior this summer, and that will be tuition free as well. So reach out to your high school counselor or to Hannah Lowry. Thank you. All right, more financial aid information. We understand that financial aid information is confusing. We understand that the language and the vocabulary of higher education is confusing. So please do ask questions. We will try to dispel a little bit of that in this presentation. Some of you will probably have applied already for financial aid for the fall 2021-2022 school year. So anytime you see that first number in the school year, you're going to use your prior year taxes. So that's that other number there, 2019. It's 2 years before the 2021. Those are the taxes that you will use if you applied for your taxes. If you didn't, it's okay. Just continue the application. You do complete your FAFSA every year. So it is not a one and done. So every year that you are in school, you're going to complete the FAFSA. The application opens up in October for the following year. So when you start in the fall, you're just going to be in class for like 2 months, and then the FAFSA opens again for the next year. Don't wait to do it. Get that done. You do want to save your student and your parent FSA ID for FAFSA in your login and your password for future years. So the interesting thing for you parents is that FSA ID you're going to use for your other children as well. Or if you go back to school, that is your ID. So you can see that you're going to have to hold on to those login and passwords for years to come. So keep that in a safe place. Also, students, you want to use your personal email and not your high school email. Your high school email after you graduate from high school eventually goes away. So if you did use your high school email, do go in there and get it updated. The isothermal federal school code is 002934. If you have any questions about financial aid, you need to contact the financial aid office, and you can do so by emailing financialaid@isothermal.edu for assistance. The reason why you need to reach out to the financial aid department and not to like Michael or I or someone else on the college is because financial aid is quite siloed. And that's for your privacy and your protection. So only the people in financial aid department can see your financial aid file. So if you were to ask me, I can answer general questions about financial aid, but certainly not the details. I can't even go and see if you have completed the FAFSA. So again, I want to direct you to emailing financialaid@isothermal.edu. All right, more financial aid information. So the Powers Promise Scholarship is considered last source funding, or sometimes you'll hear last dollar funding for citizen residents of Rutherford or Polk County. This does also include permanent residents in this category who've been in the counties for over a year. You do apply through the FAFSA, and it covers tuition and fees, not books. To keep your Powers Promise Scholarship, their community service hours are required each semester. So you'll need to submit a little document with your 5 hours of community service or 4 hours of human resource development workshops. That's a big mouthful. But what that really is there are workshops on campus that are free, and they're free to the public. It's not just you high school seniors or students, on resume, interviews, soft skill workshops, and more. So those workshops are 2 hours apiece. So if you attend 2 of those, you're helping yourself and building your resume and your future life. And you are checking that box for the Powers Promise continuation of that scholarship. If you're employed 30 or more hours a week, you do not have to do the 5 hours of community service or the 4 hours or HRD workshops. We don't recommend that you work that many hours and try to go to school full time. There is a distinct correlation between working more than 15 to 20 hours and trying to go to school full time. So it's an inverse reaction. The more hours you work, probably the lower your grades are, and that's a national statistic. So don't try to do full-time work and full-time school. Not a good mix. Okay, so with all these with all this Powers Promise scholarships and the idea that people could stay here, and most of you will be coming tuition free, we have created new programs for you. One of them is the Global Distinction Program, and this is in conjunction with UNC Chapel Hill's Worldview program. If you choose to do this program, it is completely voluntary. You do have to have a minimal GPA, and you would take on projects that are globally immersive. So this helps you become a better student and better for the workforce. If you complete all the criteria in the Global Distinction Program, there is it's printed on your transcript that you are a Global Distinction Scholar. So do please consider this program. There is an element that's 30 hours in a cultural immersion. And because of COVID, we have we're getting a program to do it virtually as well, which leads me to this. So we've also started a study abroad program. It's a short-term study abroad, and we are looking to continue this after the COVID restrictions ease up. In the meantime, we do have that the virtual one that we will be able to do. So with all that money that you saved from not paying tuition, you could consider doing one of these short-term study abroad programs. Also, this is our third new program, and it's the Isothermal Honors College. With all of you high flyers staying closer to home for the next year or two after high school, to save all that money, we have implemented an honors college here at Isothermal. It has a pretty high GPA to get in, and you have to maintain a pretty high GPA. Do know that after high school, your GPA starts over. So whatever happened in high school, you start clean. Any college classes that you took while you were in high school, like in dual enrollment, of course, that is part of your current GPA here at the college. So with the honors college, it's also optional to do, and there are projects to do. It's up to you to come up with them and to talk to your instructors about them, just like the Global Distinction Scholar Program. However, our faculty and staff work together for those two programs so that they dovetail. So if you work it right, you can combine those projects for both programs. So these are some new things in the last couple of years, and a lot of it's because more and more of you all are staying here to enjoy that free tuition. So we want to encourage you to keep that money in your pocket. Again, we do have a lot of fun here, and if you haven't gotten started already, it's not too late. Please do get started and do your residency applications at the college and your FAFSA. One more thing for your convenience, if you need any information about your application to the college to complete that, your residency, if you've got residency questions, your in-progress transcript, or your final high school transcript, you will need to order from your high school counselors so that it comes after you graduate. All those questions that you might have there are for admissions. So do email us at admissions with an S at the end at isothermal.edu. If you have a question for Michael and the advising and success team, that will be advising at isothermal.edu. And if you have questions for financial aid, remember that information is very siloed. Do reach out to them at financialaid@isothermal.edu. Again, thank you. Here's Pat the Patriot, our mascot, and we wish you the best of luck. Thanks.
Hope to see you soon.